dare? Rude. It's working now. Just don't say anything you don't want the Pope to hear,
Right?
because apparently I can't mute.
No, I want the Pope to hear everything that I have to say.
Well then, go on, girls. Say your truth. Oh my God, you're so cute. I can't with you.
Yeah. It's part of the reason why Len and I get along so well right now. Is we're like throwing shit to the wind to be like, yeah, this is what we think, this is what we feel.
Oh.
It's time for these things to be said, right?
It is.
So
I think we do a disservice when we like sneak everything under that rug.
Yeah.
And it needs to just be out.
Yeah, exactly.
Out in
So
the open.
We're definitely in the free-for-all zone. But I use this quite often as an example. In one of our presentations, we ended up talking about reward for conformity.
Yep.
Basically assimilation, right? And I said, you know, he's got a different example than I do. Mine is my reward for conformity is being able to provide you this education and information in a way that is palatable to you. So
Essentially leveling with each person how you can connect and get that message across.
Exactly. Because, you know, if I were to say this in the lack of better phrase, dialect of my family, it would sound a lot different than what I'm telling you right now.
And I think sometimes people need it both ways, though. Sometimes you do need to be able to just straight up, out of your mother tongue, what feels good, and hopefully that message can come across. And then other times, like what you're saying.
Yeah. And
just let me know if it's too firm for you.
Yeah, you're good. And just the light bulb moments that people had that day, you could just see it on their faces, and they're like, oh shit, yeah. So, you know, I get to learn this stuff from an Indigenous person who isn't yelling at me.
That part.
Yeah.
And isn't that so beautiful?
Yeah.
Because
like you're
only gonna get so far with the yelling.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And you can actually get that message across.
Yeah, and like you said, there is a time and place, and like ultimately it would be amazing if we as a society went back to one of our Indigenous values of allowing you to feel your feelings and talk about them and say the things that you need to say.
Oh my gosh, there's so much healing in that.
Right?
That gave me chills.
Yeah. So ultimately, it's not just about Indigenous people, it's as our society as a whole could benefit from some of these lost or attempted to be lost values in our culture.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
So right now, honey, I'm using the e-file.
Okay.
I'm going to be very gentle.
Yeah.
If anything feels displeasing to you, you just let me know instantly, so then we don't hurt you or anything. But I do have to rough up the surface, or essentially the gel is just going to
slide off,
pop right off. Yeah. And we don't want that. So I'm just going to have you, that is perfect. I really like, what I'm really passionate about nails and stuff is that regardless of your gender, your sexuality, your religion, your culture, like everyone comes together, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think nails are for everyone. Yeah. So whether that is a cis male just clacking his acrylics because that makes him feel, you know, powerful and beautiful. Yeah. I just think that it's a nice way of expression, and that regardless of, as we were saying, gender, anything, should be able to have nails.
Exactly. Do the things that make you feel good.
Thank you.
Wear the clothes that make you feel good.
They make you feel good for a reason, right? So that should be celebrated, not something hidden in a closet or any other place.
No, and it doesn't matter what side of the store you shop on. It really doesn't matter.
Thank you. Half the time I go to the other side.
Yeah.
I just love that we're living in a time where I don't get the dirty looks anymore, because I used to go in there like, are you shopping for your brother or your husband?
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
I'm like, well, I'm gay and I'm shopping for myself because I like it.
Yeah.
so bad?
I mean, I do experience it more in our town.
Okay, so you were speaking about that when we met for the drive-in. Is that a real...
Yeah, it is.
Oh, this breaks my heart.
It's a stronghold conservative riding. Actually, no. Is it provincially as well? I can't remember. But federally, it's very stronghold conservative. And...
Oh, you got a tiny nip there, honey.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It happens all the time. So, the majority of its citizens that are voting are conservative, and there's not enough young people in the city that have actually wanted to stay to make that change. Yeah.
And that's the thing, especially with young people, is understanding your voice.
Yeah.
And using it.
Yeah.
In a positive way.
Exactly.
So this is going to sting a little bit, but I just want to make sure that is disinfected for you.
Thank you. Well, it's not too bad.
I do apologize.
It's okay. I get hangnails all the time.
It was a hangnail that...
Totally used it.
You never want somebody in your chair to get that.
No.
I'm like, no!
It's normal for me.
But yeah, I just don't want this to slide right off, so I wanted to make sure we roughed her up a little bit.
He's good.
The only roughing up that's good around here.
Yeah. So I met the conservative MP for our riding. He kind of asked me for coffee.
I was gonna say, how did that go?
It was interesting for sure. I'm pretty sure I scared him off with my truth and honesty, and that I know.
Then he ain't the right one.
I know his voting history on certain bills. And he's trying to talk his way out of it. And make it seem that it was this when it's not. And I don't know if you decide to use the audio for this, but it was on the...
As long as you feel comfortable.
Oh, yeah. It was on the conversion therapy bill.
Okay, so that is really close to home, and it infuriates my soul, especially as a queer person.
Yeah.
Because that is so destructive, detrimental, hateful, and the years of damage that, our beautiful queer individuals have to go through.
Yeah. And honestly, if you think of it, it's just a different form of residential schools.
Yes, it is. Oh my gosh, and the residential schools too is that. I could spend a whole day so fired up.
Exactly.
Because I didn't realize that the Royal Mountain Police were actually brought for that.
Yes, exactly.
And to bring Indigenous youth to residential schools and also make sure that they couldn't escape.
Exactly.
So I didn't know that, and especially moving here to BC, I've been trying to educate myself as much as possible because it's just something that's especially with history and everything, doomed to repeat itself unless we know. So knowledge is power, and I want to soak up as much knowledge as possible, right? And just to also be just a better human.
And that's why I have a job, right? And now I'm able to reach a completely different audience.
Oh, sweetheart.
Switching into more adults in the audience this time is a huge deal.
I will share your podcast link in this so that anybody that's interested can go over and not only be educated, but find the love that's there.
Exactly.
And the understanding and see somebody that might look just like you.
Yeah.
And have similar experiences.
The podcast that my cousin and I do is not associated to the business.
Okay.
It's just the two of us talking about the stuff that needs to be talked about. And our initial target audience was our own people.
Yes.
But I think it's turning into a place for non-Indigenous people to kind of see behind the curtain.
Yes.
And get a first-hand view as to what it means to be Indigenous in 2023. But his business outside of that, that is the bread and butter is Len PR Consulting, and most of that work is with adults, and it's such a time that once you're out of your education, your formal education years, how do you get to learn this stuff?
It's true. And learning should not stop at that point
exactly.
either. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think
and
we're not growing if that doesn't continue.
No, exactly. And so most of people's education about Indigenous people and Indigenous issues is through the socialization of media.
Ooh. Media also is only going to tell us such a small, and that's what got me fired up. Like me and my partner, we love Anne with an E.
Yeah.
And they brought forward, as soon as they started talking about the residential schools, they got canceled.
Yeah.
So the series got canceled, and that series was doing one of the best to bring back Anne of Green Gables, the story and everything, but she was very close with the Indigenous community, and it dealt right with one of her best friends getting taken to a residential school and what her experience was there at the school, the abuse that she suffered, and her brothers and sisters, etc.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, first of all, I bawled my eyes out through that entire season.
Yeah.
It was so painful. But at the same time, I feel like we need to watch this and know, because this has happened and it will continue to happen unless we can, like, literally revolt against that.
Exactly.
And, you know.
Yeah. And I think where Canadian society is right now is they are just learning of what the duck looks like when it walks. So
thank you.
I don't.
And if it quacks or not.
Yeah, they know it's a duck, but they don't know how it walks yet, right? So you can't finish that walks like a duck, talks like a duck, therefore it's a duck. And what it looks like, how the duck is walking right now is, systems filled with racism and oppression.
Systemic,
So systemic racism and poverty, cycles of poverty, and then theft of children. So children being forcefully taken away from Indigenous mothers mere hours after birth when they have no history.
And this was still happening recently.
Oh yeah, in the last year.
Because I saw a whole and like I hate to just be like TikTok.
But it's true.
When literally my blood went cold, I was like, excuse me, like this is still right now, like
So I believe the one that went live on TikTok was the incident most recently in Winnipeg.
Okay.
And then shortly after that, there was a similar one in Victoria. And it didn't last as long because of the recent incident in Winnipeg. But the idea that it was still happening is not going to go away anytime soon. Yeah.
If you do not season your files, it's as sharp as a razor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I was doing with the sanding band as well.
Oh my goodness.
Just to make sure that as we're going, you don't get hurt.
Yeah.
These things are powerful. So we're going to work on that shape, and then you can just let me know if this is a shape that is pleasing to you.
Wonderful.
Wonderbar.
But it's been so refreshing to get to know you two, and share a lot of this stuff as well.
Like, especially being a woman of color and being like very white passing.
Exactly.
It's like that struggle where it's like I want to share my culture, I want to share my experiences, and my experiences are valid, even. We
have a podcast episode about white passing.
Oh, see, I really want to, because I struggled in high school a lot because there's people that thought they could say certain things around me that was not okay. Yeah. And it took
I had boys calling me squaw in grade 8, and
no,
there's something chug. There's tons of things that I've been called.
I was getting half breed, mutt.
Yeah. I get Pocahontas too.
No.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Honey, I wish I was at your school. That's all I'm saying. I'm not a violent person, but I would have been right beside you. Like, please, say something.
Exactly.
Say something.
I sent a reel to one of my friends. I think it was yesterday. Actually, it's like.
So, how do you feel about these two?
I like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is this the oval that's pleasing to you?
I would say so. So I sent this reel to my friend, and it said, it's like, you have a true friend when they're taking time bomb in how you're treated or something like that. And I said to her, I was like, I'm your ticking time bomb.
Right? So ready to go. Tick, tick, boom.
Yeah. So I'm totally ready to be that, crazy auntie.
Right? Yeah. Well, it's really important for visibility, and also just because these things are still happening, and like there's this ignorance of like, oh, this was before, this was of another time.
Exactly.
And it's like, no, the time is still right now, and this is really when we need to talk about it, shake it up, so that this doesn't continue to be perpetuated and happening.
Yeah. So, just saw this photo yesterday. It's of a hoodie that said somebody's feral aunt, and I'm in my feral aunt years now. Like,
yes,
I'm
oh my god, I love that. Someone's feral aunt.
Yeah, because I'm not having kids, and
so it's the dink situation.
Yeah,
double income, no kids.
Yeah,
that's what they talk about a lot right now.
Yeah, and we're totally fine with that.
Of course.
Yeah. Totally ready to be the feral auntie and no holds barred and be like, nephew,
I love
niece,
that.
Whatever.
Right?
Are you
Ziblin? Oh, sweet heavens! Oh my lord! Baby, I need something. Hey, there's a yellow jacket in here. Okay.
Oh, I see it. Oh boy. Well, maybe it'll go out the window.
We're bonding. Oh, I'm good at that.
Oh,
yeah.
You're good at this? You want to jump over the bed? Everyone doing this live is going to be like, this is very...
We're live on the YouTubes, babe.
Okay. You can go this way. Yeah, it's okay.
Ooh, if you can guide it, that would be even the best.
It's okay. This is what I would do with my previous job. It's okay.
Oh.
It's okay. You're really soft.
Even the dog's trying to get him out.
Even the dog. Oh my gosh. Senior Kovu.
There you go.
Thank you. That was beautifully done.
Didn't I do that with the hawk?
No yellow jackets were harmed.
Okay, I'll tell you the hawk story soon.
Come on, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, my shoes.
It's okay, honey. You actually did that so well that there's no shoes that...
Yeah.
That was my previous job.
I have those.
She has those shoes,
baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Converse is my bitch.
Now
I love me some Converse.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so the hawk story.
My heart.
Our landlords have chickens.
Okay.
And they have a coop, and they have like just this little fenced-in part attached to the coop. It's not huge. So I went over to feed them one afternoon, and of course, landlords are gone. And it just so happened that their daughter and son-in-law were there. And there was a hawk in the fenced-in part of the chicken run.
Oh my gosh.
I freaked out, and it's like, you think being Indigenous that I'd be cool around seeing an animal like that?
No.
But I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get scratched. I'm not gonna have any corneas. Freak out.
Oh my god. Full freak out mode.
And Vera just went into savior mode and saved me.
Oh my gosh. See, during the time my partner had the pick line in, like literally everything, because no more than 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So I just went into like anything you need. There was like this huge one that came in through the window. I was like, I got you.
Yeah.
It was like a new wave went over me. I was like, don't worry. Yeah. Because it's like you really do have to, there's only me and you here. Yeah, like nobody else. Yeah. Kovu can't help. He'd want to.
Thumbs.
And beautiful Chris is at work. So we need to, we don't got anybody else we can call in this situation.
Exactly.
So I'm just redefining the shape, and then once we do that, we can move into the base coat and all of the fun things.
I'm so excited.
I just want to make sure that, like, if you do want to keep this for longer than, it will stay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Sorry, my tings are falling.
Yeah.
I can't with the hawk, though.
I know.
You'd think, it's just like me, like, my name might be Raven, but if I see one coming for me...
I think I might be okay with a raven.
I hope so. You're
just like
a raven's touching you right now.
This is so true. Yeah, I think I'd be okay with a raven. Like, we speak the same language.
Yes.
You know, it's
we do speak the same language.
Not just you, Raven, but the Ravens.
Aww.
So, yeah.
It's true.
Very true.
Oh, he stayed there the whole time?
He protected you.
Yeah.
That's what
scary toilet.
That's what he does whenever I'm.
You have a nail center, right? Wow.
Welcome to my studio.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did this as for a living side.
So I actually just like do videos. Like usually I'm terrified to work on human beings, but this human being is so lovely, so I don't feel so terrified. But I mostly do like videos and stuff like that, and I want to start selling press-ons, and we're filming right now.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
We sure.
Sorry.
You're allowed to be in it. Your voice is gorgeous. Keep talking, Hunte. Tell me all of the things.
Oh, don't start. She'll never stop.
Well, she's welcome. As I said, this is a safe space. So.
Kovu, no Ritz crackers for you.
Oh my gosh, he got one as a treat, and now he thinks it's his box.
It is not your box, babe.
Thank you. Let him know.
Yeah. Yes, good boy. You lie down.
Your natural nails are so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
They are gorgeous. Oh, I forgot actually. I have the ability on here to enable a flash too.
Oh, there we go.
There's double flash.
Double rainbow. What does it mean?
It means we're really gay.
Yeah.
Queers are yours.
I haven't heard that, I don't know, real, whatever it is, sound in such a long time.
Which
Do you
one?
remember the double rainbow guy?
No, I just remember double rainbows everywhere. What did double rainbow guy say?
Oh, he's like, oh my god, double rainbow, what does it mean? I'll have to find it for you. And
Oh my
show you
gosh,
later.
please.
Yeah.
What does it mean? It means there's a gay at the end of the rainbow.
He just sounds really high and like really appreciative of nature and the double rainbow. And
Oh, sweet heavens.
yeah.
That's cute.
I see you giving me the puppy dog whale eyes.
Oh, what's with that?
He's like, I know I got caught.
I can't believe he actually got up there so eloquently.
I know, it was quite graceful.
You were a very
was quite
graceful man.
I applaud you, dear sir. But still
Kind sir. Oh my gosh, so a nickname I have for him is Mr. Man.
Oh my god.
And when we were walking the other day, we saw our neighbor. So, of course, he had to go give the kisses, be Mr. Don Juan DeMarco. And as we're going, I said, okay, Mr. Man, we gotta go so we can go do your busies. And she just turns and she's like, can I ask you something? And like my blood goes cold because I have the ability that, I don't know, people just tell me some really interesting things.
Yeah.
Pardon? Yes, please. Any kind of meat there, you can keep it. I'll eat all of it. We just had a Louisiana crawfish boil, so
Crab
with
pot.
crab.
Yeah.
Not no.
And potatoes and corn and mussels.
And then baby did fried chicken,
Yeah.
and so we were just in all of the heaven.
And yam sticks.
And in the yam sticks.
Yam sticks. Eyes yam. What eyes yam?
I am what I
Yeah.
am.
There's no denying.
Oh my god, you're so sweet.
I totally am in my feral auntie phase, and
I love the feral auntie.
yeah,
Just trying to see if I
down
have
for feral auntie phase.
some cuticle nippers. I don't know if I do, because that's usually to get those evil hangnails.
I invested in a pair because I get them so often, even though I put lotion on my hands and all that jazz.
I'm gonna disinfect this. Our beautiful 99 that cures the world.
Yeah.
Just give that a moment. I just want to get a couple of those, and then we can start with your base coat. Luckily, you have beautiful cuticles. It's just
thank you.
A little bit of...
No one has ever complimented my cuticles before.
No?
No.
Well, tell them that they're rude, because it's quite beautiful.
Well, I haven't seen them again, so...
Okay, good.
It's all good.
So, like, cuticle nipping doesn't have to be scary.
Yeah.
But you have to be very careful, like, the angle you go in.
Yeah.
because you can do some damage with these bad boys.
Deep.
Yeah, and it's easy to accidentally go too deep.
Yeah.
If you're not very flush.
Yeah.
Like you have to make sure you're like so flush with it. This is the one that makes me want to cry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Do you have any allergies, by the way?
No.
Okay, because I have some lemon, basil, mandarin.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Cuticle oil that I'd love to use at the end of the service, but
Sounds good.
that's it. I just wanted to do a light nip there just for those few areas that were. So the name of the game when you're doing nails is cleanse,
Yes.
cleanse, and especially when you have fur babies.
Oh,
So I apologize if any of your fingies are like, stop with the
I'm so
cleansing. Because after we're
Yeah.
going to make sure we are going to put the cuticle oil
Yeah.
and any kind of dryness. She ain't going to live here. She ain't even going to exist in this stratosphere, okay?
Yeah.
You are just going to be moisturized for the gods.
And I don't have to drive home. So
That part. Look at this. You got food
yeah.
and your nails, and you didn't even have to like go anywhere.
I know.
Just so happened.
Just along for the ride.
Right? So first I just want you to look at that shape and see if there's anything you'd like changed.
I love it.
So then we are going to go in with the soak off biscuit. Tell them what they've won.
I don't know.
Strong nails. Okay, so this is 60. So what I'm gonna do is first we're gonna do these 4, and then we'll go for your thumb
All right.
on your phalanges. Thank you. It's just so funny because when I first started this, I didn't know it was going to be anything like how it is.
Yeah.
You know, I just knew that COVID was here.
Yeah.
And I really, really, really wanted to fix my nails. And I had always been passionate. Like,
Yeah.
I did do like a lot of research before I would go into the salon so I would understand like what they were doing.
Yeah.
And, but I just never thought that I could really achieve like salon quality at home.
Right.
And
Especially
now,
doing it on yourself is a whole new level than doing it on someone else.
right? Like sometimes people will see my work and they'll be like, oh wow, like what salon did you go to? And I'm like, I did that myself. They're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
With like your non-dominant hand? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's why sometimes they're both different. The right and the left, because I got to do what I can do.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like one hand is pretty much like what you have now, all portraits, and then the other hand is just one color.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no.
No.
Or we'll go with something fancy, like we're going to do cat eye for you. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, at least she's pretty.
Right?
Oh my goodness. But I really like the longevity of gel.
Mm-hmm.
That's why personally, like I looked into it over, you can pop those bad
Yeah.
boys in the cooker. That's why I looked into this versus the other. I also like the
Right.
fact that if you, like, there's no denting, there's no nothing.
Yeah,
So you don't
exactly.
have any risk. Like what used to drive me crazy about like regular polish is I would do like such a great job.
Yeah.
Even Carissa, she got me stamping things and
Aw.
things that I could do all these cute stuff. But then I'd fall asleep and
Yeah.
wake up and all my polish would be dented. And I'm
Right.
like, ain't nobody got time for
Yeah.
this. Like, excuse
How
me?
rude.
Thank you. I trusted you.
Yeah.
So now I find with this beautiful stuff, you don't have to worry. And then as well, like for the time I was in healthcare, I found that my nails were like stronger. So I actually petitioned
Oh,
the DOC because they're like very against
Yeah.
enhancements. And I said, I'm not going to get enhancements. It's going to be on like my natural nail.
Yeah.
But I do need these. And I actually showed him that with my client, I was having my nails peel back.
Yeah.
And as soon as he saw that, he's like, okay, I understand. Like, as long as you're not getting like Cardi B nails, then we're okay. And I was really happy that I kind of spoke up for myself because I was like, I have up to like 400-pound patients and I am not shaming anybody. But when you're using all of that pressure and like you're doing the pullbacks, my nails were so brittle that they were like.
And it's such a dry environment already. So
it is a drying environment.
And everything are already super dry.
Thank you. Yeah. So as soon as he gave me that go ahead, I was like, yes. And like, that's why I haven't finished this hand. But if you look, like those are my natural nails. Like grown, I don't use any kind of enhancements or anything, but it's this stuff.
Yeah.
I use the Madam Glam system and I find that it just keeps them so strong.
Yeah.
You can pop that in. These are vegan, cruelty-free, so never tested on an animal.
Oh, amazing.
21 free formula, so free of formaldehyde, all of those toxic chemicals. HEMA as well, which causes a large form of allergies, and palm oil free. So they're making sure they're not doing all of that nastiness to the environment, right? So I really do. Is it hot for you, honey?
No.
Okay.
Just tons of science.
Yeah, right? Actually, it's so bad from living in Toronto. I've become desensitized to it, so it's so bad. As soon as you said it, I'm like, wait a minute, there is sirens. I couldn't even hear that.
From the sticks or the boonies, and I had no idea that buses made a noise when they stop at a bus stop.
That.
And ours beep.
Oh, really?
So the air.
Oh, is that for different handicapable people that might not be able to
see?
Yes.
Or even,
I'm sure there's like a vibration as well.
Yeah.
So if you could just place this flat inside. Perfect. And then I'll get this thumb here. We're at a good rhythm, lady.
Yeah.
So my passion is like natural nails.
Yeah.
I don't have any issues with enhancements or anything like that, but I really love like if we can work on our natural nails, why not, right? And I also like different like shapes, sizes, etc. Like I call these little baby shorties.
Yeah.
And no matter what size you have, I think you should be able to jazz up that nail, right?
Yeah.
There shouldn't be a, oh no, I can't.
Exactly.
It's just we gotta do it more tiny, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay,
Totally
so you have 16 seconds in there, and then we could just switch that out. Let me just check. We're gonna be going in with the perfect black. Beautiful human right here is gonna be doing a photo shoot, so we're just getting her ready. I think it's gonna be the other one. I use, like, if I was on a desert island, all I would need is this.
Yeah.
Black manis all day. That's my obsession.
I love my black.
Right? So good. So I'm just going to wait a moment until that's fully out so I have full dexterity with that hand.
We shall do that.
It's just like, honestly, you have such great energy that, like, I would be, like, so scared, but I know that, like, that's what I also love about gel is, like, personally, I have my chronic pain issues, right? So I have a lot of nerve damage in my arms. Yeah. So sometimes I'm very shaky. But I find that, like, with gel, you can perfect those lines and areas before you cure. So even if you're going in shaky, it's okay. Like, that's how I get my right hand done. Is it might be shaky, but I'm precise in what I'm doing. Exactly. So then we just fix that cure. Yeah. She's good. You'd never know I was a shaky Nancy. Never.
She's lucky.
Right? Let's get out the application so that I can clean up any areas that we need to. So the company I work with, Madam Glam, they sent out these brushes actually to do, because I like to do like portraits and like character art.
Yeah.
There's the application. So I appreciated when they sent out the different brushes because there's a brush for everything.
Right. It's already set and laid out for you and you don't have to think or
there's like specific ones that are like petal brushes for when you're making flowers. There's like stripers for when you're maybe doing line art. It's like all sorts of different stuff. So
cool.
Your nails look so cute.
Oh, I'm excited. I know I keep saying that, but I really am excited.
Oh, they're so very cute. Okay, let's just close that girl up. She ready when we need her. And again, you don't have any allergies.
No.
Okay, so I am going to use a little bit of acetone if we need it to clean up the edges. It eats through the polish amazing. So if there is any bumps on your skin, we can get that off right away. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you can just put this lovely hand somewhere here. Honestly, you were one of the best clients ever because you have not touched anything. So this is all sticky. It has a tacky inhibition layer. And there's people that be touching all these things. They come back and they're like, oh, I wasn't touching anything. And I'm like, well, survey says.
Exactly.
You were touching all of the things. Oh my goodness.
That's hilarious.
You can't
Like,
get
there's
away
no
with that.
lying here.
Right? None whatsoever. So out of all polishes, black is the most unforgiving.
Oh,
so you have to be so careful. Because if you make a mistake, she's going to be like, hey, I'm right here.
I love me black. So
right? Oh, it's
probably
my
do
heart.
black all the time.
So usually for these like really tight spaces, I go in with the liner brush just to ensure
Precision.
that part. So beautiful woman of color,
Yes.
Miss Nicole J. She started her own company. She is a nail tech.
Oh my god.
And so these are her brushes here.
They're beautiful.
And actually, I want to upgrade when I can. She has these ones that are all like studded.
Oh,
But she uses, again, the vegan bristles, all of the good things.
That is amazing.
And I love supporting her. And she is one of those like queens that even if you didn't support her, she supports you. But she's just so like lifts you up, you know? Like I can't tell you how many times I've done like a little tutorial or something. And she's like, girl, you use those brushes. She posts me like she's just such an angel. And I'm like,
that is so sweet.
Wait, can I jump through the screen and kiss and hug you right now, please? Like, we have some really, really sweet people.
Yeah. She sounds absolutely amazing.
And Nicole, you love her.
Yeah.
So one of the largest things with like allergies and nails is like skin contact. But obviously like a little bit is never going to harm you.
Yeah.
But it's those big, ooh, we got an evil fluffer. Kovu.
Or our cat, honestly. I'm covered in my own cat hair, so.
It's so funny. There's one time where like, because my baby girl Jessie, her hair was everywhere in the nail studio. And I just said, you know what? That ish is getting encapsulated in there.
Yeah.
That's just game over.
Yeah,
That
you're
is
stuck in there
definitely
for
a
sure.
hair.
Have you seen Viles?
Your fur baby?
No, Viles. She's a musician, but also a content creator.
Oh, you
And
gotta show me.
I'm gonna pull her up. She talks about her long ass nails, and she's based in Vancouver.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it is just, they are long. They are long.
Oh, you have
So
to
that's-
send me her.
I will totally. So that's like the beginning. Longer, getting longer.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Those are her natural nails.
No.
No?
They're tips.
The way one was going, that
Yeah.
looked very much.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but it's true. So like when you are in the nail world, because like I was very against longer nails, and it's so funny that now that I do my own, they look longer than they've ever been.
Right.
But it's because you want a canvas to work
Yeah.
on. So you don't realize, and you're like, oh, a little bit longer, a little bit longer.
Exactly.
There we go. Yeah, you'll definitely have to send me her.
I did. I just did.
Thank you, Queen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And like, she's totally not my vibe, my style. But her personality, she's just a beautiful human. And
again, your vibe attracts your tribe. So even if you might not necessarily wear those, it's like, you just seem like a really cool human. And
right. And honestly, if someone has an opinion on someone else's style, who the fuck
cares? Thank you.
Yeah. If you
It's
have
nails
nothing,
are an expression, and that's why I said, like, you know, it might not be everybody's cup of tea. Like, even my, like, the character art and stuff that I like to do, maybe that's not everybody's cup of tea. But that's kind of, like, why I like to explore and figure out different things so that, like, maybe if you like abstract, I could do, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing so that you could be a little versatile.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I know I would never have nails that long. I don't even know if I would have add tips ever. It's just not how it would work in my life, I guess. But I don't care what other people do. And if anything, they impress me. Because I know that my body, or my brain especially, would be so angry about these things on my hands, as beautiful as they might be, or like...
And that's what people don't understand, is that, like, sometimes when I do 3D things and stuff like that, the reason why it's on a stand is because sensory-wise, like, I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Yeah.
But, like, I still want to be able to do something 3D, or, you know what I mean? Something fun.
Yeah.
So we could just aim these downwards, just so that I don't hit them. So we're going to do 2 coats of this black, and then go in with that magical cat eye. And then if you would like some green jelly swirls, I'll show you what that looks like. But we can also wipe it off if it's not your vibe.
Sounds good.
This is all about what's going to make you feel good and empowered on your photo shoot.
Thank you. I'm not a photo person, so it is quite nerve-wracking.
Oh, honey. You are so beautiful inside and out. I know that's going to shine.
Aww.
And if they get even a tiny glimpse of your eyes, it's going to be game over. So,
thank you.
The creator already hooked you up. You are blessed, my love.
Thank you. And they're offering hair and makeup.
Oh, are they?
Too, so that's really helpful.
Stop. Okay, that's amazing. Please send me the photos.
For sure.
Or a photo afterwards.
Totally.
I would love to see.
Yeah.
So we're doing really well with this black, because normally we would have already had to do a lot of cleanup. But we're doing good up in here.
Nice.
And you're just a really good model.
Thank you.
And your energy is so calming.
Oh.
That we're good to go here.
So the one and only time I've been on a motorcycle, my cousin was driving, and he took us on some like back country roads, and he said, "You're the perfect passenger. Like, you don't fight me. You don't flinch or lean the opposite way." And I was like, "Yeah, I just kind of went with the flow and trusted you that you knew what you were doing." So I kind of feel like that in this.
But it's true. If you just like let go and trust.
Yeah.
Because, like, energy is felt. So if you're anxious.
Totally.
And that goes to who you're in their hands.
Exactly.
That could be
especially on a motorcycle. But that can be transferred to so much in life.
It's the same thing, like, with animals, with children. Sometimes you have, like, a really anxious child. And what you don't realize is that they're feeling that energy off of you.
And I'm sorry, pets too. Like, pets do have anxiety.
That's what I was going to say.
And, you know, it's not that we have done anything as the people in their lives.
No, but just that normal,
just
you know, if you have that.
Natural. And unfortunately, some do come across it because there has been abuse in their life and towards them. But still, that feeling of anxiety is a natural response in all of our bodies, irregardless if you're a cat or a bird or
Thank you.
Or a bearded dragon or whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You are so wise.
I say on the podcast all the time, I'm like, I just pull shit out of my ass. Honestly.
Well, your ass is very wise. It's a knowledgeable asshole.
I have been called a wise ass sometimes.
Really?
I have.
Oh my gosh.
So.
Well, I think it was in an endearing way because
they certainly didn't mean it at the time. So, yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Oh no.
I might have been like teasing them and cheeky, but I don't know.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with a little cheek. I've learned this.
And it's totally cultural for us. Len and I were talking about this just yesterday, of like, part of our culture is humor.
Yes.
And,
ours too in the West Indian culture.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's like
Look at that.
totally
Pop that in there.
You know, absurd if there isn't a certain type of humor.
Honestly, I'll get asked like, "Are you okay?"
And like,
Because like I definitely laughed through my pain. That's for sure.
Totally. And like some of the humor, some of the things we say is dark. You know,
One very
earlier,
dark humor kind of person.
Right. Even before we were eating, I was throwing out some pretty
Am I
dark
being recorded
jokes.
when I share this?
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna have to take this out, okay?
It's live,
So
but
your
we
wife
will.
asked me, sorry, can I ask you how old you are? And I tell her, and she says, "Fuck off."
I've said that to her too.
So you've got like similar to the black don't crack situation.
Yeah.
Your skin looks good.
Yeah.
She told me to fuck off.
Yeah.
And she says, "I thought you were 35." God bless you.
Oh my
so
gosh.
No, it's not.
So she made a thing. She was Aaron. She handed me adenomyosis. My
Adenomyosis.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That's you have to take that out of the video, please.
They're not gonna mind, honey.
Yeah.
You don't understand when us like the Charm Sisters go live. First of all, we're from all different walks of life, from countries, etc.
Yeah.
And we all come together. And the things like, because like we can be inappropriate sometimes, and the stuff that comes out of her mouth is like, "Don't let Raven. That mermaid's gonna start saying the dirty things." And I'm like, "Well, we're here now. This is where we're living."
Right? Totally
I
on
just
board with
think
that
like,
humor.
why not? Like.
Yeah.
Again, like your people will understand, and if not, that just the joke's not meant for you, and I'm also not meant for you.
I think it was in a movie or a TV show. I mean, anyways, something, TV show, movie. Someone had said, you know, if you can't laugh through life, then are you really living? Or like,
Yes.
you know, what is life? Or, you know, any of that stuff.
I just want to kiss you for saying that because it's so true.
Yeah.
And like, especially like with my own chronic pain, like I try to smile and not obnoxiously, like truly find the beauty and the joy in life, because if not, I would just be crying all the time.
Exactly.
And that's not going to serve anybody. It's not going to serve me, and it was just going to put me in a really bad headspace. And there's no need for that.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And again, as we said, not all days are going to be good days, but if we can try to get the good out of the day, why not?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in love with this formula. Just gliding on your nails so smooth, like.
Well, the prep helps too.
Right? It definitely does. That's why we took a little extra time there, because I want to make sure. Technically, these should last like quite some time on you. Even if you're rough with them and all that stuff, you should still be good. Trying to make sure we cap this free edge properly so that you can do all the equine dreams. Anything you need to do.
Not really equine dreams, but it's a circus, and we oddly fit in that circus very well.
Oh, you know when it's like not my circus, not my monkeys. It's this is my circus, this is my monkeys, and I'm totally okay with it.
Exactly, and the fact that we get to choose that that's our circus is another reason that makes it so special.
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
You guys melt me though. Like from the day that I met you, I was like, this couple. I'm like, okay, so I need to know them.
And this is only like our third time hanging out.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't feel like that at all.
No, it feels like I've known you guys for like a year.
I wouldn't even feel comfortable doing it, like a service like this on somebody. But like I feel like I've known you for so long.
I know.
Like just not forced, just like natural.
Exactly.
Like it just feels
totally.
Because the one thing, like why I'm a little hesitant to work on people is like sometimes people can take like that love out of the thing for you because of like their own expectations or the way that they even share what they want.
Or, you know, you're their servant and you're providing this
and it's like they're almost looking down on you. And it's like, I view this as like empowering, like me sharing
your art.
So that, so then you can also feel uplifted and beautiful and all of those things, right?
Totally agree.
Okay, moving on to Zip Pinky. I also am like so happy with like my personal growth because I remember the very first time I did my mom's nails, she wanted black with gold flake. And when I did it, it looked pretty.
Yeah.
But the issue was I was so afraid to get near that cuticle that it already looked like 2 weeks overgrown because I was so scared to get up in there. Now I'm like, worst case, we'll just clean her up with the brush.
Yeah.
But we got to get as close as possible because that's what makes it look really fresh and crisp and
last a long time.
That part.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite set of nails or design that you've done? Does it change too much?
So it's not that it changes too much. I just think it's usually like whatever my most recent character art is.
Yeah.
Because I really do love them. Like one of my favorites was my mom's obsessed with elephants.
Oh.
So for Mother's Day, I did a Dumbo set for her that had like the mommy holding the little elephant trunk.
Oh my
And then like little hearts and clouds. I'll have to show you before you leave.
So you did that on tips and then you sent them to her?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I did a whole video like dedicated to her and kind of just shared like certain things of like how she made me feel special and loved or like supported. And I think that's still by far one of my favorites, even though it was like last year. It's still like that one because it's like nails with a message.
Yeah.
So like I did it with a lot of heart,
Yeah.
and I think that one still definitely stands out for me. That's one of my most favorite ones that I've ever done.
That's so sweet.
And it was one of those moments when I was done, I looked at it and I'm like, I did that!
Exactly.
So then it was just like that extra good feeling, you know?
Totally get it.
Let me see, I think we could possibly go a little bit closer here.
I've been having a lot of those, oh my god, I did that moments recently with starting to feel like I'm back in my body again.
Oh, honey.
And
So we'll just wait a moment and then we'll do your thumb.
Yeah, just feeling my spirit is back in my body again for the first time in a really long time. And you know, making coffee and not forgetting the steps to make the coffee is something that not everyone has to think about.
So of course.
And I did it for the first time and I was clear in my thinking. It was crazy. And I was multitasking at the same time.
Because you put yourself first.
Yeah.
And like I've been there in the way of like a pain fog and like literally something I'm incredibly knowledgeable in, and I couldn't even get the words out.
Exactly.
Because it's like you're just that fog, that's why I call it the pain fog.
Totally.
Or the, you know, if mental health isn't right or other things, it's like you can't, like your body's like a machine.
Oh, totally.
And that's like a virus, you know what I mean? So you gotta code that itch, get all that stuff out and like start performing properly.
Exactly.
Because it's just like, oh, thank you. There we go. I love the acetone trick. It definitely helps so much. Because it used to like freak me out at first. I'm like, oh no, it touched the skin. Everything's over. Game over. You gotta throw the whole hand away. And it was like, it's okay if those things happen because, you know, you just fix them up, work nice and clean, and you're good to go.
One of my dad's favorite sayings whenever a kid got hurt, and it made me so angry when he said it to me when I was a kid. I was like, do we need to cut it off?
Yep.
Need to amputate it?
Yep. I can't wait.
No
amputation necessary.
Fingers.
So right?
Yeah.
So that's usually what my dad would say is he'd be like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And it used to drive me crazy, but now I think about it and I'm like, you know what? I am a combination of those things that did not kill me and definitely made me incredibly resilient and strong. So yes, it was very annoying when you said it 50
Yeah.
million times
Yeah.
when I just needed you to hug me, which you did, but you
Yeah.
also said the things I didn't want to hear.
Yeah.
But part of truly loving somebody
True.
is saying the things sometimes
Very, very
that you
true.
don't want to hear.
And there's such a freedom in that. Because you know that the things that your partner is saying to you, or the things that you feel the need to say to them, is truly coming from a place of unconditional love.
Yes.
And I know that I am so lucky to have that.
Yep.
And not many people do.
You are incredibly lucky to have that. But again, it's something that you have to foster, and
totally.
you have to cultivate and
Yeah.
make sure that, you know, you have that loved one that
Yeah.
you can trust and talk about all these things. And you know, like, I
Exactly.
know if you had to sit down and be like, you know, Vera,
Yeah.
this is where I'm at, you're
Yeah.
going to be met with openness.
Exactly.
And if not, then what's the point? Like,
And we've only grown more and more. Just
how long have you guys been married?
we haven't been married, but we've been together.
Sorry for your
11
ceremony.
years. We've been together for 11 years. Yeah. So
Warm my
it's-
soul.
Yeah. It's
You guys are such
indescribable.
a beautiful couple. I
Thank
just got your
you.
finger.
Yeah. We've only been learning more and more how to best communicate with each other. So we've learned, yeah. I just can't say enough of like how much we've learned since we've been together.
And grown.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
become stronger people.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, we got a straggler here in the corner.
Oh, no.
Ooh, we can't forget little Miss Sunshine in the corner.
Don't put nail art in the corner.
Right? Nobody puts baby in the corner. There we go. Baby is no longer in the
Yeah.
corner.
What's your favorite thing so far about being in BC?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so first of all, it's just the instant feeling. Like, you got me so excited, I totally just went over your nail right there.
Is it still on the corner?
I totally touched the corner, but that's okay. It's literally the feeling. Like, every day I wake up and I'm excited, and like I just feel like finally, because I've always been that like a walking Disney movie where I like walk outside, I'm like, ah,
Yeah.
and then usually people are like, oh,
Calm it down, lady.
but here they're like, ah, they're singing with me, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I like this. But it's definitely been like the nature, how I feel here, like all of that, and then just being near the water.
Yeah.
As like a self-professed mermaid,
Yeah.
being that close to the water is everything.
Right.
There's a little bit on your finger there that I don't feel comfortable with, so we don't want to cook you and have that cure to your skin.
Make myself into roast beef.
Right? Do not want you to be roast beef.
No.
Luckily, if it's something small, I can just like buff it off,
Yeah.
but I don't want...
They're quiet. Should we be worried?
I know, right? Did you guys itis? Are you asleep? Are you there?
Maybe they're on the balcony. We are. You guys good? Okay.
They're in the what?
Deep of things. Okay.
Oh.
We just... No. We wanted to
my
make sure you
gosh.
two were like okay, because usually when people go quiet like that, there's a problem. Okay, good. There's no problem.
Oh my god. I swear, it's like kids, man. They
Oh,
went way
totally.
too quiet. I'm like, you guys all right?
Yeah,
If you
like-
still breathing?
If we couldn't see the dog this whole time, we would think that he's doing bad things.
Right? I know, though. I would just be like, he's in the hallway.
Yeah.
He's never far from his humans.
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna wait a second because I
Yeah.
can't get that dexterity, but I can get
Okay.
these 4. So I can start on the second here, because then this
Yeah.
still has to go the full round. And then the magnetic is going to be the really fun part.
Exciting.
I'm so excited for that. But right now we're just creating that perfect base. And so the rest of this is going to be actually a lot easier because we've already snatched your cuticles. So that's like the really nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
The part where in my head I'm like, careful SpongeBob, careful SpongeBob, careful SpongeBob.
Okay, you're gonna hate me.
What's wrong?
I've never seen SpongeBob.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Okay, so Patrick is a star, like a
Okay.
starfish, and SpongeBob is just literally that. He's a sponge, and they work in this diner that's underneath the sea called like the Krusty Krab, and like Patrick and SpongeBob are the best of friends.
Yeah.
So there's a scene where he's screaming, careful SpongeBob, careful SpongeBob, and he's like doing something intricate. So that like is rent free in my brain where I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'm trying to be careful, but
Yeah.
what we're trying to do and what's going to happen is going to be two different things.
Absolutely. And that is fine.
But again, that's why I was saying like the clearance here when you work like clean and all of that stuff, you can, it's okay if there's, you can always fix it.
I'm happy that I can give you some experience too.
Yes.
And maybe not be so nervous to work on people in the future.
It's true. It's just, I think because I'm self-taught,
Yeah.
I also never want to like harm somebody.
Yeah.
So like obviously I know like even being in healthcare, certain things like I had to deal with clients with diabetes, clipping their nails, etc., being like extremely careful in those areas because again, they can bleed like insane amounts if you're not careful. So like I do take that knowledge with me, thank goodness, which does make it, but I think it's again with anything when you're doing art, you're always afraid that that person is going to hate it.
Exactly.
And then you put your love into something that somebody's like, ugh.
Yeah.
And that's usually why I'll ask throughout the steps if things are to your liking, because then that avoids somebody being upset at the end of a service because there was no communication.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I do, because I know I felt that way before where I've tried to articulate things and I've kind of been shot down. And that's also what brought me to like wanting to do it for myself.
Totally makes sense.
Because then there's no miscommunication.
Yeah.
I know what I want.
Yeah.
And that's that. Can pop her in. So for continuity, I'm going to do these 4.
Okay.
And then I'll finalize that one and then do the 2 thumbs. So then everything's had a second coat. Then we can move into the fun things. This is going to be the cat eye and potential swirly swirls. This is the no filter because the themes were these sexy blacks, grays. There's like this hot red that one of the queens is wearing and this nice
a lot of green and black.
So that's the theme we're going for today for the photo shoot.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I just love when like you move your and you see the little glint. I don't know.
It's so
It makes
shiny.
me right. It makes me feel like $1,000,000. Just like
Yeah.
fly away home with them nails.
So do you spend hours and hours watching nail YouTube videos?
Well, yeah, and some of them are from my friends,
Oh
which is
my
really
gosh.
fun, like in the community, which is really
That's
great.
so sweet.
But yeah, because we learn a lot from one another, and there's always like these new techniques and stuff. So this one's been done too. I'm gonna do this one, correct?
Well, do you want to do one on
Sure,
that
we can
one?
do that. Because which is the second? This one has 2, correct?
These have 2, these have 1.
1. Okay. Just want to make sure we don't want to mess about with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's, it's forever changing different online communities
Yes.
that are lovely and fabulous and great, and then there's like some sort of downfall, and then people start getting mean to each other, and then it's a new type of group.
That's what we're
that is
trying
doing
to
that.
avoid is that like that's why I'm so about creating like a safe space is because like it's inevitable like in communities like it's bunches of people, right? So there's gonna be possibly hurt feelings, tiffs, other things.
Exactly.
But we try to keep all of that out and just create like a very foster a very like supportive environment where like bullying, any of that kind of thing, there's no place for it.
No.
So hopefully, like, we can still all find that love and joy instead of, again, what we were saying about the no comparing.
No.
Like, the only thing you should be ever comparing is yourself. So, like, have I done better than that I did yesterday?
Exactly.
But as for, like...
And, like, the only thing you can do wrong is lack of hygiene.
And you've got to make sure. That's extremely important. That's why I try to say I take the stuff I learned in school very seriously. Because, again, like, you're dealing with somebody's skin.
Exactly.
Like, this is your first line in defense against everything.
Infections
right?
and all that, right?
Thank you. And that's why I'm like so, and even when you have that tiny nip, instantly disinfect that, make sure it's okay, make sure nothing's excessively touching it.
Exactly.
All of those things, right? But as long as you follow those, everything else is just relative to taste and what one person likes versus another.
It's one of my favorite phrases is there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Mm-hmm, there is.
Which I know sounds cruel, but
there's more than
hunting practices.
Of course, and there's more than like there's different approaches, right? And like that's why I said like the way that you could look at something and achieve it, we could get the same result at the end, but we both tackled it in a different way, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Like, you know, I think that's what's really beautiful. That's why I said everybody's minds work differently. And that should be celebrated.
As long as you end up at a result that you are happy with and no one was harmed in the process.
Thank you.
Across the board, irregardless of what it is, then keep doing you.
Thank you. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
So I'm in some canning groups on Facebook that are, you ask a question.
You're shot down.
And you're completely shot down. You're practically kicked out of the group. It's like, I'm just asking knowledge.
When did asking a question become a bad thing?
Right?
Especially when you're doing it in a respectful way. It's like...
Exactly. It's like, okay, so when did this old Amish process be determined as not safe? I just want to know the history of it. I'm such a person that wants to have the whole story. So asking just to be provided with knowledge, not asking the science behind what is safe and what is not safe anymore. I just want to know the history because I'm a geek. So just
actually
looking
certain
for the information.
Amish practices is very interesting.
Oh, totally. And like how people get so angry over just you looking for the information.
And whereas that should be something celebrated, like us seeking out knowledge, as I was saying earlier, like that's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
That shouldn't be something that's looked down upon.
Yeah.
And if we can share this knowledge with one another, like that's so beautiful.
And it's not knowledge to justify how you can in your own home today. It's just keeping some of that history
Pop that in there
alive and like keeping a record of it. And there's this idea that if you forget the past, the chance of repeating things in the past is going to be at such a higher rate.
We need to learn from that and not continue to repeat that.
And
1000%.
You know, I use the example of like residential schools, and so the theft of children is still happening today. It's just under the guise of the foster care system.
It's so true.
Yeah. So by asking questions and seeking that information is solidifying for me of not repeating the process.
Yep.
Not doing the same thing again.
And when you're talking about children, it just made my whole blood because like recently Lee and we watched something called The Sound of Freedom, and it actually had to be put through from an angel investor because actual companies would not take on this project. It was because an FBI gentleman, this is number 2, correct?
Yes.
So a gentleman from the FBI, he actually had to quit the FBI and go on his own thing because it was dealing with the trafficking of children and from foreign countries. And then the U.S. can only do so much because of laws.
Yeah. We were watching something similar on Discovery Plus, and it was...
I love Discovery Plus.
Yeah, it was children in the States.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the statistics are scary about human trafficking right now.
Yeah.
It's actually like more than when my beautiful people were enslaved and your people.
Yeah.
it's even like those numbers combined, it's even larger than
Exactly.
that. And it's going under the skies, and they're still selling people. There's auctions, there's all of this stuff. And it's like, what? Excuse me? Like, happening now?
There's so many public places where, or like things that people put on Instagram or TikTok of, you know, their kids. And I'm like, oh God, you just know that that's being stolen and put on the dark web for child porn. And it's just the way I look at the world right now in how prevalent this stuff is so
we have to
disheartening.
protect our children.
You
know?
I'm not going to have kids, but I will do everything in my power
to protect the kids that are here.
Exactly.
Right? Oh, it gives me chills.
Yeah.
But you're such a beautiful human, and honestly, if we could all just look out for one another, then again, we would have a far more beautiful place.
Absolutely. And we talk about this again in our podcast for a wee bit Resi. The episode that we talk about this is going up next Friday. So
really? Okay, so y'all, you heard it here first.
The 20th, I think?
The 20th of October. So I'm going to make sure that all the information for the podcast is available. So you guys just got to click and then follow that and have the weekly updates of all the good things.
So it's on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and I think Amazon Podcasts.
Oh, wow. Yes, yep.
So a bunch of places.
So whatever your medium is, there's a place for you.
There's a possibility for it. And I know people who pull up, especially the iHeartRadio webpage on their computer to listen to it.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't just have to be on a device.
That's what I was wondering. So it's very accessible, y'all.
And of course we're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Even though we're not really good at doing social media yet, we're trying.
It's a learning curve.
It is.
And honestly, I didn't realize that I was going to be my own creative director and editor and publicist and all of these things.
Producer.
Right? Yeah. It's going to be like a one-woman show.
Totally.
But it's rewarding because when you have that creative direction and you can really just be that person in the driver's seat, you really get what you want across, which is really beautiful.
Totally. And, you know, I'm not a poster in my personal life. So getting kind of like that muscle memory to actually do the posting is a total
because
big
there's like that vulnerability, right?
Yeah. It's not just that, it's like remembering to do it and thinking ahead and planning ahead and curating potential content from one source and editing it to put it on another source and all that stuff. Not quite there yet.
The cross-platform stuff is really tricky and what I'm still trying to get my head around because there is such a huge audience as well in TikTok and other places.
It really depends on the platform you're on. If something goes viral on, air quotes, the wrong platform, you get so much hate. Have
awful. You experienced that?
I haven't experienced it firsthand.
Okay, thank goodness.
But there's a small business that I follow on TikTok. They're in like Northern Ontario, and they make their own eco-friendly cleaning products.
Okay.
And they've sourced like dish brushes and things like that to be made in a way that is sustainable and earth-friendly. So on TikTok, if they go viral, their sales skyrocket.
Yes.
But they've gone viral on Facebook a couple times, and the hatred that they get, and it's mostly from older people that are hating on a small business for whatever reason. I can't understand the reason.
Oh my goodness.
So it's
especially when a company is like standing for all of those, like first of all our planet, but also for its customers, ensuring that it's delivering something that's like of quality.
And it's
like,
quite honestly, it's just this one now. It's quite honestly, they're expected or perceived to be a factory. When they rent a space, they are making the product in that space.
Yep.
Packaging the product and then shipping the product all from that one space. It's not a factory. It's not Amazon where it's drop shipped and yeah,
it's that good old mom and pop, and
yeah,
when you have that,
it's just a mom and pop online.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, really hard to understand how you can project so much hatred online, but let alone to a stranger.
And pop that girl in there.
Like, you wouldn't be saying that to someone.
It's scary.
On the street.
So you know gang mentality?
Yeah.
They've actually come across a very similar experience where people feel really empowered behind and like, oh, you can't see me. And it's like, I think that that's absolutely horrible because like for me, like especially when I'm watching videos, stuff like that, if it was not something that touched my heart and like enough to leave a comment, then I won't. But I'm not going to sit there and trash that person. It was either not made for me or you know what I mean? But like they're still out there creating something.
Exactly.
So even in the subject of that company, they're still out there putting good in the world. So why would you waste your time putting nastiness, hate?
Yeah.
It's not necessary.
No.
When you could be
really
spreading
isn't.
love.
It really isn't. And that is something that has been so innate in my nature. And I remember attempting to fight back against lateral violence in my community because it was so in my nature to be kind. And I couldn't understand why, A, someone else's life was your business for you to talk about, and B, why you're speaking so awfully about some of these things.
I know.
That someone else is doing in their life.
Thank you. It's like, it's this venom, and it's like, is that really necessary?
So I've been boggled so much my whole life by things like that. It's so hard for my brain to comprehend any way of thinking about someone in such an awful light or an awful way.
So only because this is like you cure it and it's stasis or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to go finger at a time.
Sure.
So we'll bounce in between the fingies.
Sounds good. Have you done toenail art?
So personally, I don't really want to work on feet. I don't know. It's not.
No. And the person I heard say this, and it actually, the joke landed finally, was Viles, and she says, no feet for free.
Right?
Or no feet for free 99 or something like that. Yeah. There's fetishes out there, and for me, it's definitely not feet.
Thank you. It's like,
and there is no kink shaming here. There's
no,
like
and
that.
I'm not kink shaming either, but it's just like.
So it's just like I don't like red meat, so I'm not gonna eat red meat.
Right?
Or tomatoes. Tomatoes freak me out. I'm not gonna eat tomatoes.
It's also like with my chronic pain, I don't think I could really get down there properly and like give a proper service.
Yes, yeah.
Without just like destroying my own body.
Exactly.
And like at that point, that's not worth it for me.
No.
If you could pop that in the cooker. My, what beautiful pinkies you have.
Oh, thank you.
The better to drink tea with.
I was gonna say, why thank you, Pooh, as in Pooh and Piglet.
Oh, yes! I would have known right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love these magnetic gels. I think they're just so fun.
They look really cool.
Right, I just thought it would be something that would add a little pop.
Yeah.
And, just you could look at your nails and just be like happy.
Yeah.
Also at the salon, they charge a pretty penny for this stuff, so why not give you something real pretty?
Oh, thank you.
No problem, honey.
And for us to hang out and spend more time together.
All of that.
Right?
So you could just pop her in, it's okay?
Yeah.
Because we're going to be, so like at least if this gets like a 30-second, we're good. She's sealed in.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have your whole hand in there.
Yeah.
Right? So we good.
What's your favorite TV show?
Oh my gosh, that is like a very loaded question. I'm like really into a lot of different things. So I watch like everything. That's why when you said Discovery, I like got really excited.
Okay.
I love educational stuff, but like my ultimate is like supernatural stuff.
Okay.
I think because like I have so much pain and stuff like that, I like to go to another land, another place.
Yeah.
And I also like it that generally the bad guys, you can tell right away.
Yeah.
It's not like people where they can be disguised.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know the bad ones.
That's cool.
But I'm a big fantasy gal. I love horror.
Yeah.
Right now, Lee and I are watching Chucky.
Oh, okay.
The new series just came out.
Yeah.
So I've been in love, but I watch like everything.
Yeah.
There's so many different stuff.
Do you have a comfort TV show that you're like,
Buffy.
Oh, yeah?
That's definitely my comfort show, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Unapologetically, I watch that. It's also one of the first TV shows to bring forth like queer romance.
Yeah.
And not like salacious, like scandalous. Like it was actually, it was just love.
Yeah.
It was just a regular relationship.
Yeah.
And I thought the way they handled it was really, really beautiful.
I never watched, I still haven't watched Buffy.
Really? I would
was-
love if you would watch an episode with me one time.
I was.
Then you can tell me if it's like, oh, no. Or, oh, okay.
I was in my Xena phase.
I love Xenia, the
Yeah,
warrior princess. Yes. All of that. I do
Totally.
that. Her, like warrior cry. Sorry for
Exactly.
anyone that's hearing that
Yeah.
loud on their speakers. It's definitely a good one. Also,
yeah.
sorry, but Gabrielle and her, they did some great gay
Oh.
subtext there between the two of
Yeah.
them. Ooh, that's pretty. Can
Woo.
pop that in the cooker.
Okay.
Next up, middle finger. See, once you get into the stride of it,
Yeah.
it's just you can do multiple fingers at once, but it does begin to fall. And if you want that really dynamic,
You want to catch it.
yeah, you want to catch that. Do you have a favorite show, honey bun?
I have a few. Gilmore Girls is my comfort.
Yes. Yep.
And then Downton Abbey for sure.
I actually have not seen.
Oh, so good. It fills the British side of my heart very well. And
There we go.
the sense of humor. Oh, love it.
I'll have to check that out now that
Yeah.
you've given it that seal.
Yeah, Downton Abbey for sure. The Big Bang Theory.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
hot dense space.
Bazinga.
Oh
I
yes.
just watched the series finale last night.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet.
So it's all on Crave.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, all 12 seasons are on Crave.
I definitely often do the soft kitty,
Yeah.
warm kitty,
and
little
then,
ball of
oh,
fruit.
what's another one?
Okay, there we go.
Superstore.
Oh, I love. Okay, so
Yeah.
America Ferrara.
Yes.
She has been a love of mine since I had such a crush on that lady.
Yes, I totally get it.
She's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you seen her Real Women Have Curves?
No, not
So
yet.
I could talk about TV and movies all day, but Real Women Have Curves was made in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And her mom was like a migrant worker that was doing, yeah, it was like it showed, but even she was like doing child labor
Right.
and stuff like that, sewing, everything else. But it talked about body confidence and everything else, and also her culture.
Oh my
and that
gosh.
like gave me, I loved it. It was
Okay.
so good. But America Ferrara, she's a firecracker. She
Totally.
does all sorts of humanitarian work.
Yeah.
Like she is a beautiful human, not
Yeah.
not just for what she looks like.
Right? So Lauren Ash is Canadian. She's
Oh yes, yep,
yeah, Dina.
yep.
And been following her for a while now and listened to her podcast, her true crime podcast.
Definitely have a lady crush on Dina. She
Oh,
kills
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I like her strong energy.
Oh, totally.
Oh my gosh, and
Yeah.
it shows you like it like crashes those
Yeah.
gender norms
Exactly.
because like I just think that's so gross.
And Glenn is one of the actors from Kids in the Hall. Yeah, it's
Right?
just so. I love it. I love it so much.
Ooh, this is looking fierce on you.
Did we do that one?
Oh, yep. I did it.
Oh my God, you did do it.
That's why I went straight over. I was like, where?
Yeah. From my angle, it was black. It was so cool.
And that's why I love them.
That is so cool.
That's why, because the black you showed me and the gray, and then the green, I was like, we could incorporate all of those things with some cat eye. So I'm glad that you were open to it.
Yeah.
It just like, honestly, sometimes like when people give you full creative control, it gets scary. Yeah. I'm like, so let's have like a collaboration here.
Right?
And anyone that compliments your nails, you just send them to the channel so then they can see it being done.
Yeah.
All of the fun things.
And it's like an exclusive, like, you don't do this for everybody.
Nope. But I do it for beautiful humans like you.
Oh, I feel so lucky.
Especially because I was like in a really bad pain spot today. I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do this, but you know what? We did the damn thing.
Doing good.
So on your accent nail, I'm going to show you that green.
Okay.
And then we'll see if it's something you're into or not. I can't wait to get to the cuticle part.
Yeah.
And then we got to take some pictures, you know, photo shootings.
Photo op.
That part.
Photo op before the photo op.
All of that. Yeah. Oh my God, you're so cute. But we're definitely down to the business here.
Taking care of business.
Every day.
What's your music genre?
Oh, I really like folk.
Yeah?
I also can mess with some R&B and hip hop. Totally. But I like a little bit of everything. I think the only thing that it's like there's more of acquired certain things is like country.
Yes.
But I still have found certain country that I can jive with. There's actually like a queer country music artist that does songs for women. And it like melts my soul because I'm like,
You'll have to show me that.
I have to get the name from Carbine. It's so freaking good.
Yeah.
But my favorite when I was like younger and still now is Tegan and Sarah. They're like folk artists. Canadian, I think.
Yeah. They're from Calgary.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're gay.
And they're so queer. So I remember for our arts project we had to do Who's Your Hero in Music. And I remember standing up in the class, little 17-year-old baby like me, and I'm like, Tegan and Sarah. I like showed pictures and went through, and I'm sure that was like my coming out party because they were just like, who are these girls with the mullets?
Totally.
I love them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. It's just, I think all of that stuff, right, brings us together. Ooh, look at how fun these are.
Wee.
Little marbles. Okay, so first, I'm just gonna show you what this deep green looks like before we do any like swirls or anything. So there was this idea that we pitched to this company for their birthday, where we said like we wanted to shine light on different polishes from past collections and future for their anniversary. So this was from Pour Me a Glass, which was all jelly syrups, which are very like popular in Korea. They've also partnered with a Korean company recently where they did Korean gels that I got to try, which were like so amazing because Korea is an epicenter for health and beauty.
Yeah.
So I can do like little swirls.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
So I don't know if you want your whole nail this color or if you want me to do like a swirl. It would only be your accent, so it would be on your pinkies. I mean on your ring fingers.
Whatever you want, honestly.
No, this is you.
Because I like this, but I also like your other... I like all the ideas. So do whatever you want, seriously.
Okay, or I'll show you a swirl on this one and then you could tell me. And also this, I could go over one more time to like deepen that.
Okay.
So it's like that nice green.
Because I can easily picture both of them and
so I like to, you're so adorable. I like to make sure that the person is happy. Because these are on your phalanges. So I'll show you the two different ways.
Okay.
And then you could tell me what makes your heart sing. So it would be like little swirls like this.
Let's do the solid green.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you, got you. And then would you like the 2 so that it deepens?
Sure.
So it looks like kind of, because like this is the thicker, like what it would look like darker.
Yeah, I would do that.
We got you. Here at Raven's Nail Bar, we want you to feel beautiful.
Put this one.
Oh yes, you can put that in the cooker. I was gonna verify those cuticles, but I'm pretty sure it's quite snatched.
Bend and snap.
Right? Oh my gosh. So what's fun is like a trending nail was like these velvet nails, which was done with this, the cat eye. But then you can put different jellies on there or even do like a mixture. So like I have different colors, like a purple, a red, etc. And you would kind of do it blotchy. So then it's like stained glass kind of,
Oh my gosh.
kind of feel. Oh yeah, that looks fun. Okay, so we'll wait for that. Oh, you can actually pop that out. Oh, that looks so pretty. So that, yeah, that definitely goes with the theme that you were showing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that second one will be all the deepening we need because you still want that light source to pop from underneath. See?
Love it.
So we'll just give that a couple more seconds, then we can turn on. Because technically these cure within 30 seconds.
Right.
But a full minute is like that.
Yeah.
But we're also going to do the top coat that's going to seal everything. So you have no issue of anything under cured. I worked very thin. So you ain't got to worry about none of that.
Whoop it.
And we need a top coat.
So many pretty things.
So I'm very appreciative since they've reached out about a year ago.
Yeah.
This is a combination of like what they've sent and then what I've purchased myself.
Yeah.
But generally per month they send about like 4 to 5 colors from their new collections.
So amazing.
And like it really helps not only build out, but I like to do like detailed stuff.
Exactly.
So sometimes you'll use like 20 colors in a set if you're doing painting and stuff like that. So
and in reality, it's like you guys are really supporting each other. It's such a beautiful connection to have that in business, right? You know,
it's true though, because you have the artist and the manufacturer or the company working hand in hand.
They want you to succeed, and if they can give you a product that
helps
you succeed with, then that is all the better for them as well.
All of that. And it definitely feels good. Like they never tell you like this is what you have to do. It's like what feels right, you know?
Yeah.
Did I do that?
I don't know.
It's like what happened there? What had happened was that you could pop that girl out. And then I'll just steal this little phalange here. So what we'll do is we'll have you cure this the full minute.
Okay.
Is there any other nails that you wanted that green color?
No,
or
I
you're
love
happy?
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cleanse everything and then we're gonna do the final seal. And then we'll cuticle oil you and you're good to go. But not go, because I got to take some pictures. Thank you for sitting so pretty.
I was happy to you. I feel lucky to you.
It's my love to you.
Thanks.
And thank you for being chilling around my phalanges
God.
and not getting scared.
I didn't realize it was that rubbery. Like, I mean, that is highly questionable.
This one is like posable.
Yeah, right?
But this one's not. So that's why you got that jiggle.
It's
with
a
the
little...
you got the, but it's
a little sex store-ish.
Well, we're queer, right? So I mean, we're talking about the finger. But I really love these because I put in like a natural tip and then I can work and do like show different different things. So we'll put this one back in just so we make sure that that's 100% cured. And then we'll move into the top coat. I'm just going to cleanse this area. We want it as smooth as possible. Though you haven't been touching things, so I don't really have to worry. You've been really good.
I go with
So see, this is what's called the tacky inhibition layer. So this is actually what will stay uncured on top of the nail.
Right.
So generally I do if there's any color and also a white, because then that transfers over to the top coat.
Exactly.
And it muddies it, and we don't want none of that. But yeah, I really like, because like at this angle right now, it just looks like black with a little bit of sparkle. But then the moment you start moving, it's like that marble cat eye feel. Right? I gotta show you though before you go. I did a dragon's eye, and when you were talking about eyes, that was like right where my head went.
Right?
It's right here. Excuse me.
Oh my gosh. You even put spikies on here.
Oh yeah, I wanted to make sure it looks super fantasy.
Oh, if you do purple, then it would be the dragon from Shrek.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna do a Shrek set inspired by you now. So we cleansed this one, right? Or was it this hand?
This one.
This hand, okay, thank you. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
With chronic pain, that's why I try to do everything as organized as possible, because I will be liable to forget. And I'm like, I'll go back in the video. I'm like, thank you for telling me, because all of the things. This thing's trying to die on us.
No.
But not in our house. This little ring light that baby got for me is like,
oh my goodness,
a savior. I love her so much. So now the entire service so far has been 96 minutes.
Wow. It doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Right? Because it's the prep factor.
Yes. Yeah.
It's that prep, baby. Okay, so now we're going to top coat these baddies and get your little phalanges soaking in some cuticle oil.
Like 45 minutes an hour.
Right? But it's, again, like, I don't cheap out on that process because, first of all, if you don't have a smooth canvas, it's not coming out right. It's so satisfying. Gonna have to go talk with your fingers to your partner. Hello.
Right?
Acting all brand new.
Yeah. Who is she?
Who is she? You kill me. I'm brand new.
Yeah. She's been saying that recently anyway. So.
Who is she?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it. I like to say like, oh, you acting brand new.
Right?
Can pop those in the cooker.
Ta-da!
And then finish your message, and we will do the other hand.
I can't remember the person's name. So.
That you were messaging?
No. Someone was asking for a name of someone else. And
Oh.
I was like, wait, I think it's this. Oh, maybe it's not that.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Don't quote me. I can't wait to see the pictures from tomorrow.
Yeah.
I hope
I'll
that
definitely send them along.
you feel empowered and beautiful, because you are so beautiful.
Thank you.
And just have a good time with amazing people.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be a little easier to do now that I have these nails.
Honestly, it makes a difference. It truly does. There we go. I remember I was doing a non-dominant hand video, and somebody commented, wow, you're really shaky. And I was like, but didn't the nail turn out beautiful?
Yeah.
Like, why can't we focus on that? I've actively said, you know, my own pain disorders and stuff that I deal with, that I nail the pain and try to go through those things. So you trying to point out what you think is an insecurity is just in bad taste, you know?
Totally.
Then we just gotta get your thumbs and I can cuticle oil you. There's a little bit like on your corner finger on the other one that I'm just gonna buff off.
No worries.
Because again, like even when you use that alcohol, sometimes you get it in the little mixing crevices. But also by the time you wash your hands,
It's gone.
you're good to go. that stuff, it doesn't really like cure to your fingers anyway. Like it just comes right off. We'd never want anything big seeping. Exactly. And if it was anything like that, I would have already fixed it with the file or what have you. Because again, that's why I like gel. Yeah. You can really play around with her. Oh, I just love the way the light hits it.
Cling, cling. You'll be typing all different too.
Right? You're like, you're gonna be, the brand new era has begun. Good luck to your partner. I also love, like, sensory-wise, when you feel them, because this is a no-wipe top coat. Oh, so it's, like, smooth. It's, like, so smooth. That's one of my most favorite things about gel.
Does it being no-wipe make a difference?
Yes. So if I was, like, if I just used regular top coat, it actually has, like, a sticky layer that I would have to then cleanse your nails again. Because everything you touched would stick to it.
Right.
And it just, but also sometimes you want a tacky layer. Like, so for instance, base coat has a very tacky layer. That's why I was very impressed you weren't touching the world. Because I would have been able to see it the moment I started applying stuff. But you want that tacky layer for certain things. So like, if I did that base coat and then you wanted like an autumn set, I could take foil and just go all over your nail with different color foil. And it would completely like encapsulate that whole nail. So maybe we'll do that next time.
Yeah.
I will be your model
any day.
Okay, that sounds good. You can pop her in the cooker. We have a good working relationship.
Yes.
You don't make me nervous, so that's a good thing. Because you don't work well when you're nervous.
No.
Because like our brains, like we can easily take ourselves out and like saying like not fun things in your mind. Then you start actualizing those things.
Exactly.
So like that's why I try to set that clear boundary, because like it's also with like my own pain and stuff. I know with certain people I would just have a very bad time. Like I know right now through this service, if I had to say, hey, we got to stop right now, I got to take a moment, I'm in really bad pain, you wouldn't look at me weird.
No.
There's some people that can't even understand that concept. So they're just like, well, what do you mean you can't, you look fine to me.
Exactly.
Right? So it's just like, I may look it, but
I'm not. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And that's the issue with like pain disorders and like invisible disabilities. Is people will like look at you and be like, oh, well, you're able-bodied. And it's like, sometimes I am, but sometimes I'm not.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And I shouldn't be shamed for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
And like, you should be able to use any sort of aid that you need and not be judged for it.
Thank you.
Or also use the aid that you need and have access to all spaces.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's very beautiful said. And it's like, that's like my heart.
Right?
And so again, like that's why I'm like the biggest advocate, because I'm like, you just never know. Totally. That's why like we should check in with one another and just be kind. Exactly. Kindness goes far. Yes. People, do you hear this PSA?
Len and I are trying to promote this lateral kindness.
I love that.
Because there is so much lateral violence within the Indigenous community, other communities as well, but my experience is with Indigenous people. And it's not that we're going to counteract fully and completely lateral violence, but by injecting more lateral kindness into the world, it can only make things slightly better.
Of course. Okay, so did we do both of your thumbs?
We did.
Okay, so we are good. So I just wanted to double check. There was one area here. This right here. I wanted to buff this. Yes! Coming off like a dream. Okay, perfect. Okay. So that's also why, like, certain things I won't freak myself out about. I hope I didn't just scratch that. If I did, I can quickly go over it. We have the things!
Yeah, I think you did a little bit. It's probably barely noticeable.
We're gonna do the cuticle, and if it is noticeable, then we can just fix that up in 2.5 seconds.
Alrighty.
I just want to make sure that there's nothing on your
These are so cool.
I'm so glad you like them.
I love them.
Oh, that means the world to me, honey. And I'm so glad, like, your fingies look good. They don't look hurt. I wanted to put all the loves in them.
They're loved. They're wrapped and loved and baked.
They are. I'm a perfectionist, so I am going to quickly go over that area. because like, no.
No.
It's so easy to do it, tiny.
And it's also my flipping finger, so.
Right, we need to make sure the fuck off finger is good.
Yeah.
You see this, y'all? We
Yeah.
need to make sure it's perfect.
Yeah. It's
Oh my
got a
gosh.
lot of hard work to do.
You can't see this, but because the light's
Yeah.
coming in, it's like blinding the camera right now. Looks so freaking cool.
That's awesome.
So cool. So again, like especially when you're doing short nails, it's really important to work as like thin as possible because what you don't want is that like bubble.
Totally.
And like that just doesn't look good.
Yes.
Like when you look
Yeah.
at your side profile of the nail,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have that. You can just pop her in and then we're gonna cuticle oil and we done.
Woohoo!
We gotta do pictures. I'm gonna rip
Yes.
that little fur off the wall and we're gonna do some things.
Yes. For the dog.
I know, right? We're just get Kobu out here.
Yeah.
Jessie always, she knew. As soon as we go on our walks, she'd actually get impatient because at first she'd be so good and then I'd be like taking my pictures at
Yeah.
a perfect angle, even using her, and then actually like, enough, mom. They're perfect.
Done.
We're good.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so are you okay with lime, basil, mandarin?
Yeah.
Can you give it a smell before I put it on you?
That smells good.
Okay, just making sure. Scent and scent memory is huge.
Yeah.
And what
It really
smells
is.
delicious
It
for one
really
person
is.
could be very triggering or sickening
Yeah.
to another. So I do like to
I
ask.
thought I didn't have any of those traumas and was at a friend's and used their shampoo and I was like, oh
Yes.
my God.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that is so crazy to say, but it's a very true scent memory. And they actually used it in like a positive way in the nursing homes where
Right.
there was like an actual book. And it sounds so crazy, but like there was even the scent of
gosh.
tobacco and stuff because some people like
Yeah.
the pipe tobacco reminded them of
Yeah.
their loved ones,
Yeah.
like their father, their grand, etc.
Yeah. Or
like
the clove tobacco.
yes.
Yeah.
So there'd be like all of these. Oh my God, it looks so cute. There's like all of these scents. There's this book, and it was literally scratch and sniff, but it was meant to be for memories
Yeah.
and to bring back, especially in patients with dementia and Alzheimer's, to remind them of something that was
Yeah.
like at home or like what have you, and it was
Right.
actually like therapeutic.
Oh.
So that's why I always the Kovu's pill time.
Yeah.
His alarm just went off. So see, after all of those swipes of alcohol, we are nourishing it back.
She's alive.
Right? She's alive. I've got all the alarms set too, just in
Yeah.
case Carbine's not here.
Yeah.
So I can make sure the little man's okay. And
Oh my
then
gosh,
I
that's.
believe it's 5 o'clock. We're still here.
I know.
I'm done though.
Almost.
We gotta do a photo shoot.
Yeah.
So almost there. Okay, ta-da. So
I
let
love
me
it.
quickly. You love them?
I do.
Oh, they look so good. So y'all just gonna have to see the photo shoots, but we are done for the day. We hope that you've enjoyed this full service on natural nails. And these are for her photo shoot.
And the epic conversation.
And yeah, we hope that you love all of the conversation. Have a really good day, everybody, and be kind to one another. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Love you.